In this video, I will be going over the entire process in detail on how I took my 4Runner from this to this. I'll be going over all the tools, all the steps I took, and all of the parts needed in order to complete this conversion. Hey y'all, today is the day I've been waiting for. Finally, I get to do my bumper conversion. It's been about around 6 months of just accumulating all of the parts, and I finally have everything I need. And I'm going to walk you through step by step on how to do this bumper conversion yourself. All of the parts will be included in a Word document or an Excel document in the description. And I managed to get all of these parts for around $600. I'm not going to go over all of the tools you're going to need. Obviously, an assortment of sockets, wrenches, Phillips head, flathead screwdrivers. You will need electrical stuff. So you will be doing some wiring. So you'll need wire strippers, wire cutters, all that. And obviously a Dremel as well, because we'll be cutting the fender liner to match the bumper. I'm doing this bumper conversion because although the 2010 through 2013 look is nice, I like it, the 2014 through 2024 look is just way cooler in my opinion. And for $600, may as well, you know? To start things off, I'm gonna be putting these brackets on these headlights I bought, because both of the headlights I bought did not come with these brackets. So I had to order these online, and I bought screws for them as well, so I'll include the screw size. But yeah, that'll be the first step. All right, I've got this bracket on under the headlight now, so that'll be the thing that holds the bumper. Now, I did want to include, I won't be doing any rewiring of this headlight harness. I realized that I can just take this bulb out and replace it is the exact same hole as the 2010 through 2013 hole. So you can literally just take your current headlight harness, run it up through this headlight, and plug it right into that hole. And I've got LED headlight bulbs, and so obviously I'm going to go with that compared to halogen. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to remove this wire harness and give myself room to bring it up and plug into that hole. And that goes for all of the headlight bulbs. So your high beam, your low beam, even your side turn signal, everything except for this turn signal bulb right here, which is down here. For this is the only thing we're gonna have to rewire. But I found a socket that we're gonna rewire that clips into the new turn signal. So we'll take the wiring from the old turn signal and we'll just add this plug to it. So everything will pretty much plug up with minimal rewiring. All right, let's get into it. Now, let's remove the front bumper. First step I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take off this splash guard. It's just held in by clips. And then on each wheel well, we will have 3 10mm screws right here. 2, 3. And I'll see you at the next step. All right, now that that covers off, you're gonna wanna remove these on each side. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 of these tabs connected to the crash bar, as well as this 10mm bolt holding the grill to the crash bar. All right, next we're under the car. You're gonna wanna remove this bolt, these two, and this plastic cover right here that connects to your skid plate. So there'll be mine's kind of messed up. Mine's kind of janky, and don't don't mind the zip tied skid plate. But this cover right here will just be held in by 10mm bolts. Wow, that one was already loose. Look at that. But yeah, you want to take this down, and then these 4 bolts on each side of the bumper, so it'll be over there too. And then if there's any more, I'll let you know after. Now that all of those bolts underneath are removed, I believe that's all. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna pull on these sides. Yeah, it'll take a little bit of force, but they should just pop out. And then I'll work my way around both sides. I'm gonna put it on a tripod so y'all can see the process. Oh, jeez. Now that you've got your bumper like that, you want to reach in and disconnect your turn signal and fog light. I'm not going to be able to do that with one hand. I'm going to put it back up. There we go. Now would be a good time to mention that I'm organizing my screws like this. So just punch them into a box. So next, we're gonna want to take off this bracket, and that's 3 10mm bolts right there. See you when it's done. All right, so next we're going to be removing these 2 10mm bolts on this bumper retainer, as well as our headlights. What you're going to want to do with the headlights is obviously unplug all your harnesses and all that. 1 10mm bolt, then there's another behind this. I can get away with pulling it back just like that and getting to it, but you might have to pop up a little bit of the pop tabs underneath here. Yeah, so let's go ahead and take them off. Next, we're going to be removing these brackets right here. And so that's just 2 more 10mm bolts. And then I'll see you at the next step.
For this step, we'll need to get our Dremel, and we're going to be making 2 cuts to the existing liner for the grill. And so the blue lines show you where you need to cut. It's pretty straightforward, yep.
All right, now that you have your panels cut, your last step to prep the car for the new bumper is to just take off the old crash bar. And so that's these 4 bolts right here, 14mm. Highly suggest a breaker bar or an impact gun. All you need to do is just unhook each end. We're good. Immediately going to start putting everything on. Just gonna get myself some Loctite, get these bolts in, put some Loctite on them. And first thing I'm gonna do is put on the crash bar. And then I'll put on these brackets next. Next, we have this piece, the center bracket. All we need to do is just sit that up here. Forgot to mention, with all of our support beams that we're doing, I'm literally just taking the old screws that I took out of the previous one and reusing them. That's how compatible these two models are. You can literally just reuse all the screws. All right, so I needed little grommets to screw the end of the headlight into. And so I found this part number 14 for Ford nut 59703-N, and I used 10 by 3/4 screw, and these screws were the screws I used for the headlight brackets. But basically this Ford nut fits pretty much perfectly. No, I mean, not perfectly. It takes a little bit of oomph to get it in there, but yeah, I gotta do this with two hands. Our next course of action is to now rewire our turn signal, and I will teach you how to do that in just a second. All right, I'm gonna give you all a little update on how I figured out which wires to use. Normally, either a black wire or a white wire with a black stripe is ground. So this black wire would go into ground, and you want to test the yellow wire and the red wire to see which one properly lights up this bulb when you turn on the turn signal. So I kind of just jammed it into there to test it, and the yellow wire made it flash really fast and the red wire made it flash normal. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with the yellow wire just yet, but it's either I'm gonna cut it off or I'm gonna try and find what it's actually meant for and see if I can wire it there. This yellow wire is useless in doing the conversion, so I'm going to cut this off. So yeah, I will be cutting this yellow wire here and just wiring the black to the white and black wire and the blue to the red wire. Before I do that, I'm going to be taking the turn signal wire out of this casing. So I'm going to be cutting this casing open and pulling this turn signal wire up so it's up where the headlight turn signal is, and then buttoning everything back up. Yeah, and I'll show you how I do the wiring and everything. All right, I wanted to give y'all an update. So I kind of started cutting from the front until I realized it was open in the back. So all you need to do is just clip this electrical tape holding the plastic on these little brackets, and then just pull it off and then pull these wires up. So you should have your turn signal routed up here. Then next step for me is to just wrap everything up again with electrical tape and make it look all pretty. Before you do any type of wiring, you want to disconnect the negative terminal on your battery. And now, here is an update on what I'm doing. I still have the yellow on there, but what I'm doing is I just got heat shrink and I just closed off the end on that. So next, I'll just be doing that. You can use like crimp connectors, just the cheap ones, but I like to use these types of connectors. They look like this. Don't ask me what they're called. Wait, actually, U-shape copper wire crimp terminal assortment set. Just to show you guys what the finished product looks like, heat shrinked, and that's what it looks like, not heat shrinked. And I'm gonna take this tube, run electrical tape over it, and we'll be good. Then I'll go to the other side. All right, y'all, wiring has been finished. Got that back there now. Done with wiring. Got it all done. Got the fog light back down there. Now, I can't do this with two hands, but as a bonus, this is optional, I'm gonna drill a hole and put a trim tab in that hole to hold this where the old arm held it. All right, y'all, time for the headlights. Let's go. Been waiting a long time for this. Kind of just same way it came out. I did put this on, but you want to wait on this because this bolt screws into the side of the headlight. So I already put it on, but I suggest you wait until you, oh my gosh, till you install the headlight. Yes. All right, y'all. So I realized after I put the headlight on initially that it's really hard to plug in the turn signal and the side light, that mini side light. And so what I'm doing right now is I'm just running them over to the headlight before I put them in. I'm gonna do this one, then I'll do this one down here, this screw into that, and then I'm gonna put that screw back. And that'll be the headlight mounted. Yeah, go ahead and get these side screws in for the bumper, along with your headlight after you get that. But yeah, there you go. Since I didn't get screws for the new fog lights, I will be using the old screws. Yeah, so just do that. And all I'm doing is just using this screw to put in my new fog light. Bumper's about to go on. I put the old styrofoam on just to see if it'll fit, because that'll just be one less part to buy. I wasn't planning on using styrofoam anyway there. I don't really know what it does, but anyway, yeah, about to go on.
I forgot to record an initial explanation video for the upper grill assembly installation, but it's pretty straightforward. There were a couple clips I had to Dremel off on this piece because it's a cheap upper grill assembly and it didn't match the bumper perfectly. But it's pretty simple. You just clip clips into the bumper. There's holes for it. And then there's that 110mm at the top where you secure it down.
So I got this piece, this plastic piece, in the mail with this guard right here. I was like, what is this? Like, what is this? I figured it out. It goes like that, or other way around, I think. It goes like this. Connects. Yeah. Good to know. We're on the home stretch now. You just want to get your other clips in here if you haven't already. And then your clips in the headlights. All right, now we're gonna get our Dremel tool. I just unscrewed these couple 10mm bolts. They were holding this piece in like that. So just these two. Got these clip things out. We are running the fender liner where it should be, back behind this. And we'll need to make cuts along the fender liner, along the fender well, to get our desired result. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna push the bumper in and then drill new holes here and here to insert our screws. My gosh, did I forget to film? I don't know, but there we go. Took the old clips from the bumper, drilled new holes. There's our lining job. Not too shabby. Now we just need to focus on securing that. All right, y'all, I'm taking the splash shield and I'm putting it back on. So I'm just taking these screws. I don't have all of them. My car didn't come with all of them, but obviously you want to put these into the bumper. And then for me, I'm just putting whatever else I need to secure this splash shield here. And then probably a trim clip there, but yeah. That's that. It literally fits in perfectly. Like they were made to be interchanged. So that's great. All right, update on this side right here. Looking good. I feel like I could have done a better job doing this, but I just drilled a new hole. I cut this short, drilled a new hole, and just got it in there with the bumper. Definitely could have done that better, but I think I'm ready to head in for the night since it's getting dark. But yeah, that yeah, that's for that. And the other side. It's, yeah, this side's a little better. I also decided to take off that giant ugly I don't know, plastic thing right there, because you could see it from outside and it looked really bad.
All right, then your next step is to just button everything up. If you haven't already, put your battery terminal back on, put your splash shield back on, and you're pretty much good. All right, I wanted to give a little explanation here. If you noticed in the explanation video, I had videos in the day and videos at night mishmashed together, and that's because I actually found a black bumper that was paint matched to my car instead of the gray bumper you see. And so some of the videos are from me putting on the black bumper and some from the gray. I actually left the TRD Pro overlay for the grill. I left it without it for about a week, and so this is me a week later putting that grill on. I left it off because I wanted to save it for the black bumper. And here is the final finished product. If you found value out of this video, I would highly appreciate if you like and subscribe. I put a lot of time and effort into this bumper conversion and making this video for y'all. If you want to see a video on my rear bumper conversion, I will put a link for that in the description as soon as I make it. If you want to see all the rest of the mods I do to this car, subscribe, turn on the notifications or whatever, and you'll be updated on everything I do.